So, but you were saying that you see a lot of people hooking up at the bars, thus what? So, because what I was saying was it's very difficult for men to get laid, fairly difficult for men to get laid, relative to women. It's a Tuesday night, it's 9:30. Any single one of you could download Tinder tonight and fuck a guy tonight. Most men are not going to be able to do that. Most men are not going to be able, like even really top tier men are not going to be able to just get on Tinder. Okay, I want a girl tonight. It's not going to happen. Now, if he's really attractive, he might be able to set it up the next day, in a couple days, whatever. But it's not going to be as on demand as it is for women. At least in my experience, like, bro, okay, if I got to set up a day with the girl, maybe it's next week. Okay, it's in a week. And then it's probably not going to happen that night. Maybe the second or third date. I know a lot of you said the 3-date rule, right? It's going to be on the third date, so maybe 2 to 3 weeks down the line. And then, okay, I set up the date, and then there's a 50% chance she's going to flake an hour before. Oh, I've got a headache. Okay. Something came up. Okay. So, like, for guys, it's much more difficult. Go. By the way, I want to let you guys know, I fully encourage you guys, if you disagree with me, I'm not going to be offended if you disagree. If you want to debate me, that's totally fine. Did you want to come in on this?
Anyone else? I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Alana's dying to respond.
No.
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying, but like it seems like guys have it easier where we live.
You think guys have it easier in Isla Vista to get laid?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, guys have it easier to get laid.
Definitely.
The rest of the panel, do you guys agree that it's here in Santa Barbara, California, it's easier for men to get laid?
Yeah, I think so too. Like, it's easier because we're in a college environment, and a lot of girls also want to hook up with people, and boys have a higher chance with going and getting laid. All they literally have to do is like have some confidence, do a little conversation.
Hold on. You just said it's easy. Just have some confidence.
Like, just like, like.
That's convenient.
Talk.
Just be confident.
No, not like that, but just go talk to a girl.
Just
and
have game. Just be confident.
No, I think if you just go talk to a girl and you're sweet, usually I think that's how it works. Like, especially in college, and there's always alcohol and parties. It wouldn't be that hard for two people to start getting laid.
So, okay, the panel thinks that here in Santa Barbara, the mystical land where men can get laid easier than women.
I don't want to say easier, but
they
have it easier than most locations for men.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too hard for them, honestly.
Okay, so I don't disagree with you that Santa Barbara, it's easier to get laid than in Idaho. Fucking Boise, Idaho. Okay,
even from
fine.
LA to here. I would even say that it's easier for a man to get laid here than it is
I don't know, man. I know some girls in LA, let me tell you.
Oh, I'm sure. Maybe if you're a celebrity or a basketball player. For a regular schmegular, though, in LA.
Oh, for the average guy.
It would probably be easier for him here than, because I swear to God, my coworkers, I have a lot of male coworkers, I see them go home with different girls all the night, almost nightly.
Your bartender coworkers?
But even, it could be the bar back. It could be the floors guy. Okay? These girls, there's so many girls, not every girl obviously, but there's so many girls who at the end of the night, they have drinks and they want to hook up too. They just want a quick fuck too. And it's very common out here because it is, I think, shamed a little bit less than it is in other areas. If I tell my girls, or if I tell, I'm going to get a high five, if I was oh yeah, I hooked up with someone last night. And other places you might be oh, do you know him?
Sure.
Who was it? Nobody really gives a fuck about that here.
Yeah, of course. Definitely there's a lot higher status men in, say, Los Angeles or Miami. I've been to Miami before. The girls, they want a fucking Dolphins player, a guy who makes $100K. It's different, right? But I do want to kind of stick to the question of between men and women, who has it easier? And a lot of you guys said even for that, right? You thought it was easier for men to get women.
No. I think it's easier for women.
Okay, you think it's easier for women?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You disagree, or?
Wait, no.
Oh, okay, got it. So I want to, and I need to kind of bring it back to the body count thing. So I think I listed 2 things. So if you have a high body count, if you're promiscuous, if you sleep with a lot of people, if you engage in casual sex, you are rewiring your brain towards short-term pleasure seeking. So it's more exciting to just continually be sleeping with the next hot guy, next hot guy, next hot guy. Relationships take a bit of work. And I mean, I personally, I think that the sex is better in a long-term relationship for a few reasons. One, if you guys have that emotional connection, if you're in love, I think the sex is going to be better. Also, you guys just, on a physical level, you guys just know you guys have each other figured out, like wired. You guys, the guy knows what the girl likes, the girl knows what the guy likes. Like, you've got figured out. You can, on a one-night stand, you're not going to bust out some super kinky shit, probably. So you can definitely explore kinks in a long-term relationship. I think the sex is better with one person if you've been seeing them for a while in a long-term relationship, but I think it's more exciting the first few times with a new partner. So you're kind of rewiring your brain a bit in the same way that if you've been scrolling on TikTok for 3 hours and then you try to sit down and read a book, that shit's going to be hard. Like, you're wiring yourself to, you're basically destroying your attention span, so to speak. And anyways, so body count, if you have a high body count, it makes it more difficult for you to pair bond with a partner. So if you sleep with a lot of people, you're going to have a greater likelihood that you're not going to be able to properly bond with a person. If you've slept with 50 people, you're not going to be able to bond with number 51. You've like almost destroyed your ability to pair bond. At 100, like, you're probably thoroughly screwed. And I'm trying to think what else. Also, they've done studies on this. Someone who's promiscuous who has a high body count is they're more likely to infidelity. There's a greater risk of infidelity if someone's promiscuous. Greater likelihood that the relationship is going to break up. Greater likelihood of divorce if you're married. Greater people who have more partners, they're more likely to report relationship or marriage dissatisfaction. So, and they've done studies on this. I think the CDC did a study on it. So there's a whole bunch of studies on it. So yeah, body count matters. Anybody?
I think, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say, yeah, that's absolutely true. I feel like it's like instant pleasure. If you know that you can get instant pleasure like from hookup culture, like it's going to be harder for you to like slow down and like really connect with someone. And plus, just like if both parties are just like willing to have sex, and like you like can kind of like gaslight yourself into believing like that's like physical can lead to like emotional kind of. So yeah, I feel like it is like harder for people who have like just like been into the hookup culture to like settle down, because it's just like, you know, like I've been doing this at work, so like why am I gonna stop? I mean, like obviously you're gonna get bored eventually, like when you like get older. I feel like probably I don't know, I'm not old yet, so I don't know, but yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, Esther, I think
I just have something to add, not that I disagree or anything.
Sure.
But basically you're talking about dopamine. So we get dopamine from TikTok, we get dopamine from, you know, the quick satisfaction. And that dopamine rush is kind of just gonna get boring at some point, for I figure, but men and women are different. Women release oxytocin and feel more attachment after sex. Men don't feel that. It kind of almost is the reverse for them. So depends on the gender as well, but for a woman, I think biologically speaking, it might be a bit overwhelming if you feel that attachment towards a lot of, if you sleep with a lot of people, or simply you just got into the habit and like you can kind of almost consciously, oh yeah, I'm attached, but this is not like true. This is just like what I'm feeling in the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by pair bonding. So if you're consistently just hooking up with a bunch of people, you are desensitizing yourself to that, and you're just not going to be able to properly pair with somebody. Go ahead. You wanted to come in?
Sorry, I was itching my nose. Well, like that's what I said earlier when you first asked the question. Like, it depends. That's why I think, like, yeah, somebody with a body count of 3 probably shouldn't be dating somebody with a body count of 200, and, you know, vice versa. You should probably stick in the same realm. But also, like, when you mentioned the whole, like, infidelity, things like that, I think that a big part of that is too many people trying to, like, stay into traditions and, like, things like that, when really they should be more of a polyamorous or, you know, not tied down or vibe like that, but they're trying to force themselves into, like, what's the norm. And then that just leads to more, because, like, yeah, some people are just more promiscuous than others.
You want them to come in?
Oh, like, I was kind of, like, experienced because I was being hookup culture. And then after that, like, I was like, what I'm doing, you know? Like, I was just, like, not shame, but it's nothing with hookup. Like, there's only experience, that's it. And then there's nothing, like, there's no meaningful. That's why I was like, oh, I should change, and then, like, I should have sex with a guy who I like. Yeah, that's like, I'm not gonna say my body count, but, like, I have experience before.